Good afternoon, everyone.
Hello, people.
Hello there. I'm Arnie.
I'm Doug.
You're watching Pepper Tree Villa, and this is the Daily Dose of Disney. It is April 6th.
Can't believe.
A Monday. It's kind of gray outside here in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what it's like where you live, but just let us know in the chat streams. As a matter of fact, let's see who's here so far. We have Richard, the Orlando guy. Richard, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Also, thank you for the promo that we have been really pushing today. And
it was funny.
yes,
it was very funny. And there was a cat.
And there's a cat. That is an awesome.
Creepy old man is what made me laugh.
Creepy old man and hijinks ensue. And
smoking.
And there's a cat.
Yeah, smoking was.
It's delightful. That is just a delightful promo. Thank you so much, Richard.
Funny. It was really good.
So we have Richard, Alyssa's here, Samantha, I see Mar in Memphis, Dougie, Walto Grams, and Paul, that UK Disney couple. Thank you for being here. Shelley Starwalker, welcome to the stream. It is good to have everyone here. And Donna Jaworski, welcome to the stream. It is good to have you here.
That's okay. You can play your video games. We're not that important, so.
I'm currently playing PS4, so I'll be in and out in the chat. Thank you, Paul. I see Cynthia, Candy Mom. Donna Jaworski is saying hi to Cynthia. Judy, welcome to the stream. And Cody Hankins, great to have you here. Arjohn's wonderful. Mike Wheeler, great to see you. Oh, thank you, Mike. Oh, my goodness. It is April 6th. It's an interesting day for a couple things that I saw here. I want to make sure that I touch on those because I know that there are fans of a couple things here.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and start with 1971. It was on this day that the magazine is what I meant to say. Everyone's familiar with Life magazine and that picture of Cinderella Castle and the whole cast right in front of it. It's a very, very famous photo of when Walt Disney World opened. Well, on this day, some six and a half months or so before Disney World was to open, Look magazine, Look was a magazine at that time. They published an article talking about Florida. They talked about the sweet life. They called it a powder keg and the first look at the magical new Disney World. The cover of the magazine had Mickey Mouse on it, the character walking around. Oh, Keystone, welcome to the stream. It is good to see you. Amy, AJC, great to see you.
I guess he's heading out to Target.
Oh, I'm headed to Target.
So you can actually go out. Everybody's not allowed to go out. Well, we can go out.
We're allowed to go out. We're
going out. It's just, it's just exhausting.
It's very limited and very exhausting. But yeah, we're doing that. So it is great to see everyone here. Thank you for joining. So that was the first story that I had here. They're talking about the booming development in Central Florida as a result of Disney World being built. Of course, everyone expected that, especially Walt, which is why he purchased so much land so he could have a wonderful green belt for his Walt Disney World project.
Yeah, keep everybody out.
Go
away.
He learned from his mistakes or from his lack of funds for Disneyland. So that was the problem there.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to do one better with Florida.
No, did everything he wanted to do in that he couldn't do in California, he could do now in Florida.
Yeah, definitely has the gift of space.
Mm-hmm.
So in 1983, this is kind of an odd one. I don't even remember this show, probably because I was in college at the time. I wasn't really paying attention to television too much.
No, I don't remember anything like this.
There was a sitcom that premiered on CBS on this day called Zorro and Son, and it was kind of based on the original series that Walt Disney Television did in the 50s. See, I snuck out yesterday and had an Insta live stream from Walt Disney World driving around all the empty roads. You missed it. I did miss that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I would have so loved that. Timothy Rainwaters, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. We're doing pretty good. Still here in kind of a quarantined state.
We're quarantined.
Sheltering in place. But we're doing okay. So anyway, this sitcom was on CBS from April 6th until June 1st of 1983. Walt Disney Television produced it. And the actual producer of the project, um, his name was Kevin Corcoran. And a lot of people may not know that name, but if you're familiar with his work, because he actually acted in some Disney films, he was the little brother in Old Yeller. He was one of the little brothers in Swiss Family Robinson. People knew him as Moochie. I just looked at him as the whiny little kid in the Disney movies.
Yeah, I don't remember any of this.
But
I remember there was a bunch of children, but I don't remember which ones.
Yeah. The show Zorro and Son really didn't star anyone that I was familiar with. I remembered hearing of one of the shows that one of the guys was in, a show called High Chaparral, ran for a few seasons in the late 60s, but that's about it. I mean, just nothing of consequence. It went away after 5 episodes.
Well, that's why nobody knows about it.
So it was one of those obscure things. Now, coming to Disneyland is a monumental thing for me. I live eating at Disneyland a lot. Yes, indeed, Mar, he was Toby Tyler. That is true. Kevin Corcoran was Toby Tyler. Surfer Girl 3626, welcome to the stream. Stacy, hello. Stevie Lee. Oh, so many people have been joining the stream. Nebel, thank you for being here. Rachel Fithian, welcome. So on this day in 1990, now this is during Disneyland's 35th anniversary, their 35 years of magic celebration, they were remodeling part of Main Street. They did this thing called the Blue Ribbon Bakery.
Right.
It replaced a storefront that had been sponsored by Sunkist originally. The Sunkist juice shop that was there on Main Street. It was called the Citrus House. And the Blue Ribbon Bakery was there from 1990 until
just recently,
until 97. And then it moved from its location where the juice house or the Citrus House was into the space next to it and took over a space that was occupied by the Carnation Ice Cream Parlor. Long history with that particular thing. The ice cream parlor was it was originally by an ice cream company called Carnation. Carnation was acquired by Nestle in 1985, along with other ice creams and things like Dryers and Edie's and things. So that was all part of Nestle. But the parlor closed. The location was remodeled. The Blue Ribbon Bakery took the location of the old Carnation restaurant and ice cream parlor, and then in the alley between the watch shop and the Blue Ribbon Bakery was now the Carnation Cafe.
Right. And
it was just a patio restaurant with the kitchen in the back toward the back of the old restaurant. And it was that way for quite some time, for about 15 years, and then they did another remodel.
Huge.
and moved Blue Ribbon Bakery from where that was and just closed that down completely. It became indoor seating for the Carnation Cafe restaurant. And what used to be the Blue Ribbon Bakery, and before that was the Sunkist Citrus House. That was then the Gibson Girl Ice Cream Shop, which is next to the Penny Arcade and the candy shop.
And then it morphed, and then another bakery that went to Jolly Holiday, right?
Yes, because instead of being the Blue Ribbon Bakery, they changed it into the Jolly Holiday Bakery Cafe. I don't want to alarm you, but I heard that Jacques Pepin is in ill health. Oh no, Richard, I am so sorry to hear that. Yeah, well, his book is right.
I have all of his books.
There.
Lots of books.
Right there, you see Jacques Pepin. Lots of books in our library from Jacques.
Yeah, really. Okay.
So that's the restaurant, the Jolly Holiday, is now at the end of Main Street on the left-hand side in the hub. And if you keep going around, you'll see the Fantasy Fair and Sleeping Beauty Castle, and then, of course, Tomorrowland. So that was the Blue Ribbon Bakery. I know that was a lot of history there. With
that was way a lot. I mean,
that was a lot
of diatribe of they're great from the restaurant to the beginning, but that was
a lot of history for the Blue Ribbon Bakery.
I mean, you can go a whole Main Street. You can go into the wonderful world of bras and
the Wizard of Bras. I can definitely do a lot of things about the history of the different stores on Main Street.
Yeah.
1991. This one was of particular interest of a couple of people. the animated series Darkwing Duck
Oh, it's so
officially
good.
premiered on this day on Disney Channel. It ran for 13 weeks, I believe it was, on Disney Channel. But this was actually kind of like a preview for the show. Dougie's very excited about it. He loves Darkwing Duck.
Oh, it's excellent. And then it went to Disney Afternoon, didn't it?
What was it? Cape Canaveral, the name of the city?
I have no idea. I haven't seen Darkwing Duck in eons.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love that.
It's on Disney Plus. I just haven't been putting on. We don't watch TV during the day.
Yeah, but Darkwing Duck started in 1991 and then became part of the Disney Afternoon in the fall. And they made like 91 episodes of Darkwing Duck. But it starred Drake Mallard, whose alter ego was Darkwing. And here's something interesting. It was developed as a last-minute replacement with concept artwork by a guy named Michael Peraza for a proposed reboot of the Rocky and Bullwinkle show. At the time, Disney had the distribution rights for the old Rocky and Bullwinkle show, but they didn't have the right to make cartoons of Rocky and Bullwinkle. So they had to quickly change around, and the original name of Darkwing Duck's show was going to be 00 Duck. But then again, they ran into a copyright issue because 00 is owned by the Broccoli family that has the rights of James Bond in 007. So they couldn't use 00 Duck. But it was interesting because there was an inside joke with it. In an episode of Darkwing Duck that's called A Duck by Any Other Name, Drake Mallard suggested using 00 Duck as his name, but Launchpad McQuack said, it seems kind of silly. So they got rid of that and they called him Darkwing. Launchpad was, I guess, the only character from a prior series of the Disney Afternoon that was then reused into, in Darkwing Duck. So Launchpad was in both shows. And of course, he was a supporting character for both shows.
Yeah, he was. He came in and out of each one. That's a good one.
Now, they had thought about doing the show with Launchpad McQuack as the secret agent, but they decided to go a different direction, and they just made what's his name? Drake Mallard. Yeah, Drake Mallard. So, yeah. So
Darkwing Duck came out this day. Amazing. I love it.
Yeah.
Just love it.
That's pretty cool. 2002. On this day, they started this thing at Disney's California Adventure called Super Soap Weekends.
Yeah.
They may have done something like this at Disney MGM Studios in Florida, but in California, this was a sad attempt to draw more people into the park to bolster attendance of the floundering Disney's California Adventure.
Oh, they were throwing all kinds of stuff. They had X Games there. So this is when they brought in the soap opera celebrities to try to get butts in the park.
Yeah, they did 3 weekends of this to try and get people to come into the park. They had stars from All My Children on hand for that celebration. But of course, it didn't really work out. Hello, RVing to Disney. Thank you for being here. I had not seen you join. And Matt, Jack, Sandy Claus, Logan, Downscale. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness. Everyone, thank you for being here. 2006, a gentleman by the name of George Britton. Today was his last day of work in Florida. He was originally hired by the Walt Disney Productions at that time to run the Walt Disney World Railroad.
Yes.
He was hired in 2 years before the park opened. He was hired to restore some engines that were discarded originally.
Well, they were procured by the Broggie family, and Roger Broggie is the one who found all of them in Central America.
At like a plantation.
It was a plantation.
The number of failed.
And then Disney had to redo it because Walt Disney built from scratch all the railroad, all the engines at the studio for Disneyland. Well, that's timely and extremely costly. They could do that in 1950, but in 1970, 1969, 1970, they figured, oh, let's forget this. Let's just get narrow gauge. So the engines and the trains are bigger in Walt Disney World because they can go narrow gauge. And the Brogy procured 3 of them in a plantation. Electronica. I never, we were, it was there at such weird times that when we were going down, it was there, but we were not going in it because it was there to do for
Electronica.
World of
Electronica, yeah. Electronica was very popular for a few people.
They loved it.
But it was more a placeholder for people that were waiting for the second show of World of Color when it premiered at Disney California Adventure. So
we were never in it.
I never went. We walked around it, but it was so loud and crazy, and a lot of people were carrying around a lot of drinks that had like glowing ice and things like that, and lots of neon, lots of day glow, glow in the dark stuff.
It was actually very popular, and then it went to the Mad Hatter. After Electronica, it did the whole Mad Hatter kind of scene.
Yeah, they did.
And then finally they decided to get rid of it.
They did a whole Alice in Wonderland theme because the movie had just come out, and it was very popular for that. So George Britton, he was the only railroad foreman that Disney World has ever had. And then when he finally retired on this day in 2006, he was honored with a window on Main Street. And Main Street at Magic Kingdom.
We did not make it to the actual debut or any of the soft openings or the press or anything like that.
Oh,
it was
Richard, that's
really
great.
Weird time, so we never got down there for the actual. Did everything else before that, but we haven't. It took us a little while.
George Britton was quoted as saying, "When I got this job here, this is a true, honest to goodness feeling. I thought I'd arrived. I got the job I always wanted, and that's what I had here."
Perfect.
That's fantastic. Gosh, what a great thing to be able to have a job doing something you absolutely love to do, like tending to trains. Yeah. That's very cool. And then on this day in 2007, the Grand Fiesta Tour Story of the Three Caballeros opened, and it replaced the El Rio del Tiempo at the Mexican Pavilion at Epcot World Showcase. Of course, the original attraction was open on opening day, October 1st, 1982. It ran until January 2nd, 2007.
A long time.
Long time, almost 25 years. And then they just did an overlay with them. Oh, Richard, you do need a Cali trip, and we need to be a part of that as well. We need to hang out together, most definitely.
So, and then rumor has it, which right now don't expect anything new in the next 10 to 15 years, is they want to redo that to a Coco attraction there in Florida, Mexico. But who knows what's going to happen? The parks are not even open, so we can't even count on anything.
We just don't know what's going to happen.
We just don't know. We just don't know.
Bye, Neville. Thank you for joining today.
Ciao.
So the Disney Plus Movie Club is coming tonight to PTV Live. You may have seen it here mentioned in the chat. The 1965 original That Darn Cat film will be part of that tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. So really, we're looking forward to that. I've got some questions on my computer right over here that I have ready for it. So I'm looking forward to it. I know Doug is.
I am.
We loved the movie. We hope you watched it because I got a lot of questions, a lot of details about the film. So we're looking forward to that. Moderators, thank you. Thank you so much for your help today. Really appreciate it. And then also our support channels, especially right now, I see him here, Richard, the Orlando guy. Richard did a wonderful job putting that promo together for us for That Darn Cat, especially at the end. Oh, and there's a cat.
Creepy old man. I love it.
And hijinks ensue. Oh, Richard.
Smoking.
I was.
Why was Canoe smoking a pipe like that? You look like an old man.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, definitely.
That was kind of stupid. But it was the time. It was 1965.
Yeah. So be with us tonight at that time so we can all enjoy going over That Darn Cat.
Yeah.
Okay. Also tonight, starting at 7 p.m., there are a couple of shows. We have Mickey Sightings on at 7 p.m. We also have Practically Perfect Park Hopping with his Magical Monday Mayhem. And then at 8 o'clock, Steve of Steve's World will be on his regular, just another Monday night.
Steve is being Steve.
And then at 9 p.m., we have Mickey's Magic with Meg. And then finally, again, 10 p.m. PTV Live here on Pepper Tree Villa. That pipe smoking kid was annoying Doug. Yeah, definitely.
Canoe's character, I'll be honest.
So-
I mean, I'm not getting away. He was super annoying.
Yeah.
So we'll get into it more tonight.
We'll talk more about that tonight. PTV Live, we're going to be talking about That Darn Cat on the PTV
Live.
Disney Plus Movie Club. So don't forget, be with us tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. In the meantime, everyone, thank you so much for being with us. Have a magical evening and have a great, big, beautiful
See you
tomorrow.
in a few hours.
We'll see you just in a bit for PTV Live. Good night, everyone.